So Michael Dambacher is a local businessman and real estate appraiser running for the office of Tuolumne County Assessor-Recorder. Mike has been licensed and certified by the State of California Bureau of Real Estate Appraisers for the past 23 years, allowing him to appraise all types of properties. For the past 18 years, Mike has owned and operated Dambacher Appraisal Services. Prior to managing his own business, Mike was a senior appraiser for the Tuolumne County Assessor's Office and a staff appraiser for El Capitan National Bank. Mike's appraisal career began 28 years ago and has been centered in Tuolumne County. Candidate Cindy Deutsch brings with her 15 years of preparation to serve as your assessor-recorder. Cindy's working knowledge and experience within the office includes extensive knowledge of the Revenue and Taxation Code, departmental budgeting, personnel training, evaluation, and supervision. She has expertise of the computer system for efficient and wise use of your tax dollars in the assessor and recorder's office. Cindy is well prepared to roll up her sleeves and begin work on day one. And Kaenan?
Yes.
I got it right that time?
You did.
Yeah, I'm the one I think's been stirring people wrong. Kaenan Whitman is currently employed as an appraiser with the Tuolumne County Assessor's Office. He has taken the initiative to work with different homeowners associations to eliminate double tax assessment and has established working relationships with other county assessor offices. With his knowledge, experience, and strong work ethic, Mr. Whitman is endorsed by the current assessor-recorder Ken Catano, Assistant Assessor Kevin Townsend, and the Stanislaus and Tuolumne County Central Labor Council. With that, you each, I'll start with Mike, have an opportunity for an opening statement of 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tuolumne County Chamber of Commerce. I'm here for your job interview for the taxpayers of Tuolumne County.
Mike, can I get you closer to that mic so they pick it?
Repeating a few things that were said in my introduction. 28 years in the appraisal field. 28 years in the appraisal and valuation field, both government and private sector. 23 years as a licensed appraiser with the state of California, the highest license that allows you to appraise all types of properties. 18 years owner and operator of Dambacher Appraisal Services, a successful business in Sonora. That pencils out to roughly over 6,000 individual appraisals. Most important in this office is the assessor, it's the recorder, it's the overseer of the county archives. But the most important part of this office is the valuation of properties. What does this mean to my potential employer, which is you, the taxpayer? Without the proper credentials to appraise property or know the process of appraising properties, the assessor's office could be faced with a possible situation of having to hire outside appraisers or outside appraisal firms to do complex properties such as commercial or industrial properties. I'm the only candidate that is certified and licensed to do these type of properties. I have extensive experience. I have rock-solid credentials. I have the ability to go eyeball to eyeball with all property owners.
Michael?
Time.
Time's up.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cindy Deutsch, and I'm also a candidate for the assessor-recorder. I have lived in Tuolumne County for 36 years. I have 2 children, Benjamin and Christopher, and we're currently residing in Soulsbyville. But I'm here to talk about my experience and knowledge in this office. I have worked in this office for 15 years. I'm currently working in this office. I'm the only candidate that has that much experience. For 10 of those years, I was a manager in that office. I've done budgeting, purchasing. I've ran the Crest property tax system. I have built working relationships with other counties as well as other county departments. I am able to step in on day one and go to work. I have knowledge of the Revenue and Taxation Code as it applies to your property taxes, to the State Board of Equalization's tax rules. I know how to close an assessment roll, which is a culmination of what we do each year. That's the end result that gets sent to the tax collector. There's 42,000 parcels in this county that have to be processed each year. I'm the only candidate that can do that or has done it before. I believe that you deserve the best government that we can provide for you, and I think I'm the candidate that can provide that for you. Thank you.
You're up.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight, and thank you to Tuolumne County Chamber of Commerce for putting this event together. I would like to use this time to tell you a little bit more about myself. I am a husband and father and have been involved in our community by serving as the president of the Ponderosa Hills Recreation Club, as a Sunday school teacher at my church, and as a member of the Sonora Sunrise Rotary. I also own a small business with my wife in downtown Sonora where we employ 3 people. As someone who owns a small business and works as an appraiser within the assessor's office, I am excited to be here tonight to talk about the positive changes we can make to help small businesses in our county, such as a change to our minimum assessment resolution and the adoption of Prop 90. I am also looking forward to discussing the challenges the next assessor recorder will be facing, such as the implementation of a new tax software system and the handling of over 8,000 properties with decline in value status.
Thank you. All right, we're going to go to prepared questions, which the ladies will ask you. The first person that gets to respond gets 1 minute and 30 seconds. The subsequent responders get 1 minute. And I believe they're going to start with Mike, and they'll rotate through. So just keep that in mind. You will see a warning, the 30-second, 10 seconds, and if you go past, then that's when I jump in. So I'd rather not, but I will. So with that,
All right, Mike, please explain to us the role and the responsibility of a county assessor recorder.
Well, the county assessor recorder wears 3 hats. Hat number 1 is the county assessor, which is responsible and accountable for all the values, whether it's real property values or personal property, which is usually businesses, boats, airplanes, that type of stuff. The second one is the efficient running of the recorder's office, the recording of all vital documents, which is birth certificates, death certificates, a ton of real estate transactions. And the third, and I think very important, but sometimes unheard, is the county archives. It's the maintaining and the preservation of county records, records that date pre-1900. There's archives. It's not just paper facts. There's archives in this building. And it's basically the running and the maintaining of all 3 departments under one supervision. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do you need the question repeated? Okay. Please explain to us the role and the responsibility of a county assessor recorder.
The assessor is charged with each year assessing or processing each property, the 42,000 properties that we have each year, and coming up with a value, which is what your taxes are based on each year. But not only that, we're charged with making sure that everybody has the exemptions that they're entitled to, or the exclusions when there's a change in ownership. Those are all things that we have to watch as the assessor. The recorder, as Mike said, is charged with recording mostly financial documents, but also vital records. And we need to do that in a timely and accurate way. And I would like to see us continue the good work that we're doing at the archives.
Okay, thank you. Do you need the question repeated?
No.
Okay.
So the assessor pretty much has to do with property taxes, and it also has to do with the mapping duties and assigning parcel numbers. And it also has to do with processing all the proper tax exemptions and tax relief provided by the law. And then on the recorder side, like all the candidates probably just said, it has to do with recording all legal documents mandated by the state and county to be recorded. And then the archives is to preserve the written history of Tuolumne County. And to kind of sum it all up, the main function of the assessor recorder is to administer the laws of the state in a fair and accurate way.
Okay, thank you, Kaenan. Thank you. Is it working now? Okay, thanks, Kaenan. Cindy, what is your #1 priority should you get elected to the position of county assessor recorder?
That's a very good question. I would like to see us move forward with our property tax systems that we have and our imaging system so we can become a virtually paperless office. I would like to see that happen, which would save tax dollars in the long run. I would like to see us use our staff more efficiently by cross-training with the recorder's office as well as in the assessor's office as well. Thank you.
Okay. Kaenan?
Thank you. My top priorities as assessor recorder would be making sure that each property is fairly and accurately assessed, and that we are doing all that we can to protect the public from identity theft, such as removing personal private information from publicly recorded documents. Those would be my top priorities as assessor recorder.
Thank you.
Well, as far as the assessor recorder's office, most of the office is mandated by the state of California. As a businessman coming into a government situation, my primary goal is to expedite the process. I want people to walk away from the county thinking that whoever they talk to did everything in their power for their situation, for their problem. We have other situations out there the last few years where property values have had a steady decline. And it's what they call Prop 8, to where the assessor's office will revalue those properties and bring them down to the market value. And if it's below their original value, they will reduce it. I talked to a lot of people about that in Tuolumne County. I'm in Calaveras County. I was over there today. The process in Calaveras County seems to happen a lot quicker in Tuolumne County. The process needs to be expedited. People need to get regain their trust in the county government. Thank you.
All right, Kaenan, what is the biggest issue or problem facing Tuolumne County? What is your solution to that issue or problem?
Well, the biggest issue facing Tuolumne County, everybody always tells me it's jobs. And as assessor recorder, there's not too much you can do, but you can advocate before the Board of Supervisors for certain policies that would help small businesses in our county, such as a change to our minimum assessment requirement. It would provide tax relief to over 400 small businesses and save the county the cost of collecting and assessing small amounts of property taxes. The other thing I'd like to see adopted is the adoption of Prop 90, which would allow seniors to transfer their base year value in our county. Why I think this is a good idea is because it will create an incentive for retirees to choose Tuolumne County for their retirement home. And what follows retirees are their pensions and 401ks, which is all money from outside our county that comes in and is spent locally. Plus, an article just came out from the Board of Realtors that says for every 2 homes that sell, it creates 1 job.
All right, Mike, do you need the?
Can you please repeat the question, please?
Sure. What is the biggest issue or problem facing Tuolumne County? What is your solution to the issue or problem?
Well, the biggest issue in the assessor's office itself is to expedite the process, which I just mentioned a moment ago. And what I want to refer to is disasters. We've had a disaster with values since 2005. We've had a disaster with the rim fire where property values need to be reduced. We may have a disaster with a water crisis, which may come to fruition this summer, where it will lower the values of properties. That has to be jumped on immediately. It has to be taken care of. That's what the taxpayers are demanding. As far as what we can do for the county, I've been involved with Charlie Dyer with the county archives. There's a program called Cultural Economics, Tourism, and it's basically to where we round up the different historical societies and people involved in that type of area, and we bring them together on one umbrella, and it basically will bring people from out of the area into Tuolumne County for the cultural tourism problem. Thank you.
Okay. Michael, when did you start at the assessor's office, and what is or was your highest classification?
Well, I started in the assessor's office some 25 years ago, and I started out like all appraisers in the assessor's office. I was an appraiser 1, and I advanced to appraiser 2. I advanced to appraiser 3 in my 3rd year. I was there for 5 years. Appraiser 3, they sometimes call a senior appraiser, where you earn your advanced certificate. So I was there for 5 years, and years 3 through 5, I was the highest level they could grant you.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Cindy?
Could you repeat that question, please?
Yes, when did you start with the assessor's office, and what is or was your highest classification?
Okay. I started with the assessor's office 15 years ago. I started as an assessment technician, and I worked my way up to the assessment process manager, which I held that position for 10 years. 3 years ago, that position was eliminated due to budget cuts, and I am now currently a assessment technician again.
Okay. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Kaenan?
I joined the Assessor-Recorder's office in 2011, 3 years ago. I started out as an Appraiser 1. I'm currently an Appraiser 2. However, prior to working in the Assessor's office, I did commercial real estate appraising for TMG Realty Advisors and worked as a project manager for New Paradigm Marketing, where I would find alternative uses for abandoned buildings, such as converting old Kmart buildings into indoor swap meets.
Okay. Thank you, Kaenan.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Sorry
Sorry
about
about
that.
All right, Cindy,
Yes.
do you have the minimum qualifications and experience to hold the assistant assessor position? Assistant assessor? No,
I'm sorry, that's what came in.
that's what came in on the question. Well, assessor's position, let's put
There
it
you
that
go.
way. Let's take out the assistant.
Am I answering for assistant, or am
No,
I?
assessor's
Assessors.
position.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Currently, I do not hold my appraisal certificate, which, under the law, when you're elected the assessor, you have a year to get your appraisal certificate. I am studying, and I will be working on that this summer.
Okay, thank you. Kaenan, do you have the minimum qualifications and experience to hold the assessor position?
Yes, I do. I'm a college graduate, and I also am certified by the State Board of Equalization as a certified real property tax appraiser.
Okay. Mike? What the question?
Yes, I was certified some 25 years ago by the Tuolumne County Assessor's Office to do property appraisal work. It's kind of funny you mentioned about the assistant assessor, because I saw they just replaced the assistant assessor, had a job application out there, and the qualifications had to do with appraising real property for 4 years, complex property, managing, and of all three candidates, I'm the only candidate here that possesses the qualifications to be the assistant assessor, which would take place, something would happen to the assessor. Pretty important.
Okay. But that's, huh? Okay. But that's the property.
All right, Kaenan, are you certified and trained to appraise all types of property?
Yes.
All right, Mike?
Through the State Board of Equalization, usually appraiser 1, appraiser 2, it has to do with residences and sometimes apartments. Usually when you get to appraiser 3, which I don't believe Mr. Whitman is, you have to have an advanced certificate to appraise complex properties such as commercial industrial properties. My license with the state of California is a general license. It enables me to appraise all types of properties, commercial, industrial, et cetera.
Okay, thank you. Cindy?
No, I am not qualified to do that, but let me remind you that this is a management position. The assessor normally does not do appraisal work. It's a management of 3 departments. It is not an appraisal position. We have a staff of 4 appraisers to do that work.
Okay, I think we've answered this. Mike, you're first. What level of certification do you currently hold, you said? All
Well,
three?
I earned an advanced certificate with the Tuolumne County Assessor's Office some 25 years ago. With the State of California Bureau of Real Estate Appraisers, I hold what they call a general license. That's the highest level license the state grants.
Okay.
And that enables me to appraise all types of property.
Okay. And Cindy, you said you don't own, but that you have to work on, right?
Correct.
Okay, okay. Kaenan, do you,
I am a certified real property tax appraiser.
okay, all right. You know, I learned something tonight because I didn't know what all this, what the assessor did. I think a lot of us don't. There was 2 emails that came in, and I think it was to Kaenan, about the identity theft. What are you
Yes.
proposing to do in addition to what is already being done? I mean, how do you,
Well, currently, we are removing personal private information from publicly recorded documents, but we need to go back and do that to prior documents that were recorded earlier.
okay. I didn't know what that meant.
Okay, another question that came in via email is, you propose to grow our economy by exempting over 400 small businesses from property taxes. So how do you propose to recoup the loss of revenues that are needed for vital services such as the sheriff's office, the fire department, road maintenance?
Well, what I am proposing is a change to our minimum assessment requirement, and I actually believe it'll save the county the cost of collecting and assessing small amounts of property taxes. We won't have to process over 2,500 property tax bills, and currently those tax bills go through 5 people, 3 different departments, and a couple of postage stamps. And so, of the property taxes our county collects, our county only gets to keep a small portion of those property taxes. So I do believe it would actually save the county some money. And it would free up time for our county to pursue other revenue-generating projects.
Mike, how do you oppose it about identity theft? I didn't know that we had that in the assessor's office.
Well,
but how-
it's a program that's in place right now. I'm not going to take credit for something that's already in place. I can say I can further that program and continue it and go back further on records, but it's a program in place. Our current assessor, Ken Quintano, has done an excellent job of getting this program in place. It was mandated by the state. I will not take credit for Ken's work.
Okay, because you don't think of these things when you're,
No.
I mean, I think of it on the computer, but I guess it could happen anywhere.
Sure.
And Cindy, you believe the same thing?
Oh, definitely, yes. And I think we are continuing to move back and continuing to do that at this point.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a priority in our office.
And the other one that we had here, if we do this with small business from property taxes, how do we get the money for the sheriff and fire departments and road maintenance? I mean,
Well, I think in a nutshell, what Kaenan's talking about and what the theory is it cost effective? Is it costing you more to process the money you think you're bringing in? If it's costing you more to do it, you eliminate it or you change it. And that's all we're talking about is theory right now. I mean,
Okay.
people are even talking the theory of personal property tax. Maybe it should be eliminated. Maybe it's costing us more to process it. Maybe it's unfair. Maybe we should do something along those lines. So it's basically dollar in, dollar out. Are you making money or is it cost effective? And it's not cost effective, you can do some things about it. There's a process.
okay. You're talking about personal property tax. Is that controlled by the assessor's office, Cindy?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The
See, I'm
personal
learning a
property
lot.
tax is the tax on your business, your boats, airplanes.
Okay.
Mines, and.
Which I
and-
don't have any, but.
Well, if you did, you would get a tax. And a reminder that if you are a business owner and you have not filed your business property tax, they are due by May 7th to avoid the penalty. So
Oh, okay.
remember to
Okay.
file your business property statements.
Well, I'm glad I talked to you guys. I learned a lot. Thank you.
I don't have any more questions.
Thank you. All right, it's that time of the evening. We're a little ahead of schedule, but actually we're on schedule. And that is for closing statements, 2 minutes. Remember the timers over there. And with Mike, we'll start with you.
Well, I've based my opening statement and I've based most of my answers on my extensive experience and my qualifications in the appraisal field. I want to talk about what a license means. Would you go to a doctor that wasn't licensed? Would you hire a lawyer to take care of your family estate that wasn't licensed? As an appraiser, you must be licensed by the state of California to appraise any real property since 1993. In order to do that, you have to take a test by the state of California, you have to pass that test, you have to take continuing education from that point till today. So I can stand here and be honest and look to you eyeball to eyeball and say, I've met that qualifications. I am an appraiser. If I say anything different than that, then I violated what the Bureau of Real Estate Appraisers demands me to say. They frown upon any person claiming to do any appraisal work from 1993 to today for the state of California and claiming to do using the word appraisal. In the assessor's office, it's a little different. To do complex work, you need an advanced certificate. We've already talked about that. There's only 2 people in Tuolumne County Assessor's Office that hold that certificate, Mr. Ken Quintano, the current assessor, and Kevin Townsend, the assistant assessor. Once those 2 leave on January 1st, there's not one appraiser or anybody involved with valuation that holds that certificate. So that was my question earlier. Does the taxpayer have to pay for the office to hire outside appraisers or an outside firm to do complex properties? I don't think that's a favorable thing. As far as the archives, I want to mention something about that because I've somewhat ignored it. I'm from a pioneer family, and I'm very proud to be from a pioneer family of Tuolumne County. I have a very personal interest in the maintaining of the county archives and the preservation of documents that are in the county archives. I didn't get a chance to say it before, but I'm going to say it now. The voters of this county have a rare opportunity to hire a candidate that has a blend of both government and private sector extensive experience. Thank you.
Cindy, when you're ready.
I just want to go over once again that my platform is experience, knowledge, and commitment. And I'm the only candidate that has 15 years of experience in the office, 10 of those as a manager. This is a management position that I am asking you to hire me for. I want to leave you with one question. If this was your business and you had to hire someone and pay them top dollar to run your business, who are you going to choose? The person with little or no experience in the office, or the person that has the most experience and is the most qualified? I know who I would choose, and that would be me. So I respectfully ask for your vote. Thank you very much.
Kaenan? KW?
All of that works. Well, I'd like to close with telling you the things I will work for as assessor recorder. I will work to provide tax relief to over 400 small businesses while saving the county the cost of collecting and assessing small amounts of property taxes. We can do this by making a change to our minimum assessment requirements. I will also work to strengthen Prop 13 protections for seniors by allowing them to transfer their base year value inter-county. I believe this is a good idea because it will create an incentive for retirees to choose Tuolumne County for their retirement home. And what follows retirees are their pensions and 401ks, which is all outside money that comes in and is spent locally. My top priorities as assessor recorder will be making sure that each property is fairly and accurately assessed, and that we are doing all that we can to protect the public from identity theft by removing personal, private information from publicly recorded documents. And as an appraiser within the assessor's office, I am aware and prepared to meet the upcoming challenges the next assessor recorder will face, such as the implementation of a new tax software system and the handling of over 8,000 properties with declining value status. Lastly, I do have the experience and know-how to head the assessor recorder office in a professional and cost-effective manner. I am endorsed by the current assessor recorder, Ken Catano, and the assistant assessor, Kevin Townsend. And I look forward to serving our community and working for you. Thank you for your time, and I respectfully ask for your vote in the upcoming election. For further information, you can visit my website at voteforwhitman.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me make a few closing statements and comments. First of all, Kathleen, thank you from Cable 8. Very silent, but very much watched. 1450 KVML, thank you for the staff and everybody making that possible, that they're playing it live. I also want to thank each of the candidates for participating tonight, to everyone from the Chamber's Board of Directors, for Nancy Sykes, Pam Baltimore, Wendy Gast, Margaret Davis, Glenn Gottschall in the, no, I got that wrong. Glenn Caldwell in the back. I know too many Glens. The Board of Directors, Government Affairs Council, who helped make this a successful candidates forum. The candidates you heard tonight are looking for your vote. You've heard what they have to say and how they responded to the various questions. We applaud all the candidates for giving of their time for public service. It can be a thankless job at times when it's impossible to please all your constituents all the time. On the other hand, it can be very rewarding as you demonstrate your leadership in helping make Tuolumne County a better place to live, play, and conduct business. The most important thing is to exercise your constitutional right to vote. Today's issues make clear the importance of our representative form of government, and with that, the responsibility we all have to elect candidates and support the issues important to oneself. So make sure to vote Tuesday, June 3rd at your polling place, unless you're planning to vote earlier by mail-in ballot. Thank you for being in our audience and for listening in. Have a good night as we wrap up another Chamber Candidates Night. And with that, a good night, and thank you all.